Hi ladies and dudes, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop197. This is my review for today, and today's review, ladies and dudes, well my friends, it's that time again for another movie review, and this time it's gonna be my very first movie review that will be featured in a rated R film. So anyway, ladies and dudes, for my next movie review is called The Grey. And yes, my friends, this movie is finally gonna make it on my top 10 best Liam Neeson films of all time, and it will be higher up in my top 3. And to tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, like I said, this is gonna be my first movie review that will feature in a rated R film. And I'm gonna warn you all right now, this will be my first movie review that I'm gonna feature a big, giant spoil alert. If you don't want to watch this movie review that features a very big, giant spoiler alert, please stop this movie review right now. But if you guys are strong enough to handle the spoiler alert, if you guys have seen the movie, please watch this movie review right now. And so, without further ado, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my 16th movie review of The Grey. So, the movie starts off with a very lonely man named John who is working in an oil company, and he's all alone, all by himself, trying to, restart his life all over again for all these years after his wife had died from a disease, and now he has to go on a business trip or whatever with a group of dudes there on the airport, doing things and all that stuff. Maybe they're just heading off to another, some oil company or something, until on this one unfaithful night, when the airplane has started to, get out of control and all that stuff, it had landed into a crash, and there's a lot of dudes who died in the plane crash, but there's only a couple of dudes who had survived in this movie. There's only 8 of them left. And now it's a battle of survival. John has to lead the last dudes who are left standing in this film, who need to go on to this very dark quest of finding a way to get back home in time before the pack of wolves will show up and start killing them all. And now, my friends, there's only a couple of questions remain. Will ever the last survivor of the dudes will ever get out in time from the harsh cold winter from the evil wolves, or the evil wolves will go hunt them down and start taking them down for the count? And so anyway, that is my whole entire plot of The Grey. And now, to tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, what the heck do I think about this movie? I want to let you know is, I frickin' love it. It is a pretty darn good movie after all. This is also one of the best Liam Neeson films I have ever watched. And this is the very first time I'm going to do my first rated R movie review when Liam Neeson was in it, I guess. I will say the storyline is pretty darn good, and the characters were likable. I love the scenery of the film. It had a really good score. It had a nice, dark, edgy feel to it, and let's just say, out of all the movies that I've seen so far in Liam Neeson's career, I will say The Grey is truly one of the most darkest movies I have ever watched in my life. I mean, there's a lot of frills, spills, and some stuff that will be truly blown you away. So anyway, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my strongest points and the weakest points of this movie. I will say for the strongest point of the movie is the storyline. I love the storyline. The best part about the story is all about the battle of survival. After all, Liam Neeson playing this John guy who is leading a group of men who are the last men standing, and he's going to do his best to take care of all of them before the pack of wolves will hunt all of them down and start taking them down for the count. You know, just hunting down for prey and all that stuff. So it's a really, really good story, and I really do enjoy Liam Neeson's performance. I mean, he did a pretty well done job on this film, and also the cast as well. So this is a pretty cool movie overall. And now, ladies and dudes, it is time for the most weakest point of the movie, and this is going to be the most shocking thing of all. So here we go, ladies and dudes, the big, giant spoiler! So for my weakest point of the movie is, they left it in a cliffhanger! I mean, what the heck? I mean, there was a part where John is going to fight for his life to fight this very dark black wolf who was hunting him down for all this time in the film, and we never saw a chance between John and the wolf start to fight each other at the end. I mean, what the heck? I mean, there is a picture to prove it. There was a part where John is carrying a knife in his right hand, and he's holding these 3 broken bottles in his left hand. He's marching off to fight the wolf all alone so he could, find a way to survive. And it's a freaking shame that we never saw the fight scene. It's so darn disappointing. And if you did see this one small clip that came from the ending credits, you'll see the part where the wolf is, breathing his last breath, and we don't see Liam Neeson anywhere in that clip. I mean, yeah, they left it in a cliffhanger for some unknown reason. Well, if they ever done an extended cut edition of The Grey, I would like to see the whole fight scene all the way through. And so, that is my strongest point and the weakest point of The Grey. And now let's go on to the characters of the film. And I'll just go on with the 3 characters that I remember the most of the film, since I can't remember everybody's names. But there's only 3 dudes that I can remember the most that, who are definitely the main pack of the men group, I guess. So, the first one is John. This other dude named John. He is definitely the most hot-headed guy of the group. You could say he's kind of cocky, he's being a tough cookie, and there was a part in the movie where he got a little bit too carried away when he was cutting the wolf's head and he started to throw it back where the pack of wolves are, somewhere around in the middle of the circle of the forest. That was kind of awkward. That guy had that hot-headed look on his face, and he started throwing the wolf's head back to the woods. I mean, that is too darn crazy. But I remember later on in the movie that John is finally, becoming a softie for once, and he's starting getting along with the guys who are left standing. And I will say for this dude named Pete, I think he may be Liam Neeson's right-hand man, and I'm glad he did help out John with the mission of trying to get to the other side from the woods so they could find a way to get out of the forest in time and find a place where they could find shelter or whatever. I think he's a really good right-hand man, and I think he's one of the good men that John can trust from the journey that they're heading, from life to death. And I will say for John, and that's Liam Neeson's character, I will say for John, he is definitely one of the most coolest characters in the whole entire movie. He's very strong, very mature, he's pretty sad, pretty lonely, and also he really does miss his wife very much after when he lost her when she was in the hospital suffering from this disease that we don't know of, and I just feel kind of sorry for him for losing his wife and losing everything that he owned somewhere around the near end. And so anyway, ladies and dudes, since I don't have much other things to talk about in this movie, I will go ahead and tell you my final thoughts of The Grey. Overall, The Grey is such a very cool movie that involves survival. I will say the storyline's pretty good, except for the ending. The characters were pretty likable. The score was pretty darn sad, pretty edgy. I love the CGI of the wolves. And I will say this is a really good rated R film to watch. And definitely one of the best films that came from 2012. And so for my rating from 1 to 10, I decided to give The Grey a 9 out of 10. So you better check out this movie to believe it. If you haven't, the wolves will hunt you down and take you down for the count. If you know what I mean. Whoa, I'm so scared. So anyway, my friends, that is my whole entire movie review of The Grey. I hope you enjoyed this movie review, and let's just say I did my best for it once again, since I always had trouble making up a sentence. Well, you get the story. And join me next time, and hopefully this is the most biggest moment that everybody has been waiting for. I promise to all of you I will do my top 10 best Liam Neeson films of all time, and let's just say I'm getting very, very close to get all 10 movies that I need to see from this legendary actor. And truly one of the most underrated actors of all time. And I mean, Liam Neeson is truly the man, and I really love this guy very much. And the only movies I'm looking forward to the future is a movie called The Nut Job, where Liam Neeson is going to play a raccoon. I wonder how this movie will work out when he's going to play a raccoon in another animation film. So anyway, that is my review of The Grey, and I'll see you all later. Sayonara!